Welcome to Childcare Conversations, the podcast where early childhood leaders like you get real-world strategies, honest talk, and a whole lot of support. Whether you're running one center or many, we're here to help you lead with confidence and clarity. This episode is brought to you by our summer partner, Childcare Business Growth, your go-to solution for filling spots, increasing revenue, and scaling your childcare business without the burnout. We're proud to partner with a team that's as committed to your success as we are. Learn more at childcarebusinessgrowth.com. Now, let's get into today's conversation, one we think you're really going to love.
I want to go outside. All right.
Oh, it's hot. It's hot. Are you sure?
I do. So today we are going to have a conversation with Shelby and Adamson. Let me get the right letters in there. Adamson. And we're going to talk about outdoor school, about kindergarten. We're going to talk about what that transition looks like for kids, how you as a director, owner, lead teacher can, incorporate a little more of that into your classroom or outside, not in your classroom. No classrooms, no doors, no walls, I don't know. On that, Carrie, help me out here because I feel like
you're flailing. We got to at least have bathrooms available.
Yes, please.
That is part of license requirements.
Yes.
So Shelby, tell us a little bit about, you said that in our pre-talk that you feel like you've gotten a lot of opportunities for growth in a relatively short time as an educator. I want to ask before we get into it, why do you think you got those opportunities for growth that other people maybe don't? How did you position yourself, or what did people see in you?
Really and truly, I think people saw two things. My love for people, my love for children in particular, and my giftedness in teaching. I've just been able to kind of sprinkle those types of experiences in my life, even before I was formally teaching, and just being able to be a nanny or to do things with children at my church. I feel like the opportunities, really, I was asked to come teach at a school whenever everyone was like starting to restaff after COVID. And I was invited really just based on those things. And the rest is history.
Okay. As somebody who's hired staff post-COVID, why don't you do me a favor and tell us where people found you? Because I think that if more directors knew how to find people like you, did they just pluck you off the street? Because you said you were invited. So I'd be curious to hear, tell us more.
Yeah. So I was a friend of essentially a client. So the school that I originally got plugged in at, a parent of one of those students is one of my best friends. Does that make sense? Did I say that correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so whenever they were looking to restaff, they spoke to kind of some of their most valuable or maybe most trustworthy parents, and said, hey, like, if y'all know anyone that's good at teaching, that's, good with kids, that, loves on kids, all that sort of stuff, we need those people, like, let us know. And so
you were a parent referral.
I was a parent referral. That is the most easy way to say that. Yeah.
I think right there's the episode title,
there it is.
We get people who kind of look at us like, no, I'm only going to do Indeed, or I'm only going to post this way. And Carrie and I often, when we're doing HR and how to find your employee, we always talk about, if your parents can't find that person, or your staff don't have a friend,
right,
new staff who either really like you or know people, like,
right, yes, exactly.
So, all
Yeah.
right. So, Carrie, what, based on our pre-talk, is the one thing you really want to make sure we talk to Shelby about today?
Well, I really want to talk about the fact that, well, actually, first let's have Shelby tell us a little bit about her program and what makes it unique. And then I have my question.
Okay.
What makes your program unique? What's a unique selling position for your school?
Okay, so I will just say, so we're Kitty Crafts Preschool. Now I say preschool kind of lightly because we do go through, for the past couple years, we've gone through kindergarten. This coming school year, we're adding first grade. So I don't know, we might lose that pre sometime soon. But our motto is where nurture meets nature. And so I feel like that just says it right there. We are a nature based program, we are a play based program. We get our kids out, rain or shine. I kid you not. And we let those kids play. And we learn, we let them learn by playing, by getting muddy, by getting their hands on just everything that they can find, by getting messy, by making mistakes, just like Miss Frizzle says, that is our philosophy of learning. And yes, particularly in kindergarten and then, of course, in first grade, we have some solid academics because we want our students to be able to leave us and be successful. But we just have, I mean, we really, I think that we've really looked at what Europe does with how they view early childhood development and education, and they have noticed that they don't need to push their kids to learn so much academics so early on. They actually test better than our students do here in America by just letting them play longer. And so we're just so blessed with a director that um, has just really educated herself on all of that. And so we take her lead. Um, so yeah, we play. We play and we make messes. And if it's the only time that we don't go outside is if there's thunder and lightning. But you better believe if it's raining or if it's cold, we're still going out. Put on your gloves, put on your rain suit. We're going out. We're going to learn something today.
It sounds very much like the Finnish philosophy, like it needs to be play punctuated by a little bit of work instead of work punctuated by a little bit of play.
That's it. That's it. Absolutely. And
No,
even a
no,
lot of
no, no bad weather, just poor clothing choices.
100%. 100%. Absolutely.
Okay, so I just have to ask. So, as you know, we often hear folks talk about the struggle to get parents to remember extra clothing or coats or shoes or whatever. What's your secret? Because I'm feeling like y'all need to have like 47 sets of different types of clothes per child. I mean, is this just because your parents have bought into this from the get-go, do you think? Okay.
Yes, 100%. We are, I mean, we make it abundantly clear. This is what you're getting when you come here. We are entirely unique in our area for this reason. So if I mean, really, our parents come to us because that's what they want. So they know, okay, we got to supply all the clothing needs, and we do of course give an abundance of reminders, but I mean it is a requirement to have a change of clothes, obviously, but even like we require once it gets to, well, even I think the first day of school they have to have a rain suit, like full, like top to bottom, like head to ankle, wrists, like rain suit and rain boots. Like those are absolute requirements from day one. And then once it starts to get cold, full on, even like ski suits and mittens, gloves. We really like those like waterproof gloves. So again, like it's not soaking through. So we just give lots of reminders, but again, like they know exactly what they're getting into by wanting to come to us in the first place. So they know, okay, we're going to have to like get some extra clothes, and we let them know exactly what to get.
I think we
Great.
get kind of spoiled here in the South. And, I've got family in Wisconsin and Minnesota. And so if they didn't have snowsuits and stuff like that for 6 months of the year, the kids wouldn't be able to go outside. And
Right.
there's programs in Canada and in Greenland and in the Scandinavian countries, going back to that Finland thing, right? And they're having those kids dress for the weather. We get so
Mhm.
spoiled by the fact that most of the year we can go
Yes.
outside with just a light jacket.
Right. Absolutely. I agree.
Or no jacket. Definitely,
No jacket. I
it's,
mean,
you know.
and we have those kids. We have those kids. My daughter's one of those. Everyone's like, put on a jacket. And I'm like, we're too hot natured for that. She's fine.
So I love that, Shelby. Thank you. So Carrie, she's told us a little about her program. What was your
My question was, why, how are you able to outcompete the free public school for kindergarten and first grade? Because we're hearing all these people freaking out about, oh, public pre-K, nobody's going to pick
Mhm.
me. Well, kindergarten's been free since, I don't know, the 40s. So how are you
Right.
out competing for kindergarten and first grade? What makes, how are you guys doing it when everybody
Oh
else
my
says it can't be
gosh.
done?
Oh my gosh. That is such a good question. Yes. I mean, I think that it really does. It just goes back to allowing kids to be kids and really educating the parents. And that, I mean, really, that's the hardest thing, right? I mean, I think we spend like most of our time throughout the year just educating parents on, this, that, or the other. And that, I mean, that's fine. That's a good thing. But I think it really does come down to educating the parents because they don't know what they don't know. We don't know what we don't know, right? And so it took like looking at what everyone else is doing across the world, what's working for everyone else, and what are we doing differently that's not measuring up. Um, and just, reminding ourselves of like our childhoods and that we had more play than current kindergartners do now in a public school setting.
well and
Um,
unstructured time? I mean, although we have
yes.
activities, the
Yes.
amount of activities I see preschoolers and kindergartners be
Mhm.
signed up for 5 days a
Oh,
week of things after school, they don't have just that
mhm.
general downtime
Yes.
to learn to play, get
Yes.
bored, figure out how to be
Yes.
unbored, right?
Oh my
So
gosh. Yes.
okay, so
Yes.
I'm gonna ask a question. So you said that you guys spend a lot of time educating the parents.
Mhm.
What about before the parents become your parents? What are you guys
Mhm.
doing in the community to educate the community on basically why your program is at least something to consider? Because it's not going to be a fit for every family and every kid, but no program
Mhm.
ever is, right?
Right. Absolutely. And I love that you asked that. We do once a month, at least during the school year, once a month community programs. So we will do a trunk or treat during like Halloween time. We will do
Okay, wait.
gosh,
So is
yes.
that trunk or treat then open to everybody? It's not just your family and your schools?
It is open to everybody. Now we do partner with like a Highland or a Lake Highlands I don't know. We partner with some other community something or other around here. I can't quite remember what they're called. But it's some kind of like parent teacher something or other.
So
Again, so they
another
do.
partner organization.
Yes, yes. So we partner with them, and so it is for the whole community. Now, some of our events are just for our students and their parents, but we hold a lot outside so that the people around us can see, like, oh, hey, what are they doing over there? And so it kind of again gives this visual of like we do a lot of fun stuff around here. We do a lot outside around here. We do a lot of things that you're not going to see any other school doing. And so that kind of gets our attention, or gets their attention on us, gets them going to our website, gets them coming in for tours, and then it kind of opens up that conversation.
I feel like your director must have gone to our class, because this is all stuff we talk about. Like, this is so, we were meant to have this conversation, because this is very much our take on how you should be a member of your community.
Yay,
Invite
I
the
love.
community in and do cool stuff.
Yes. Because it's a reflection of what we do with our kids. I mean, don't you want your kids to be having this much fun in school? I mean, like, they're just not going to get that at public school. They're just not. I
Well,
mean,
and
just
what's so exciting is I'm sitting here listening to you and I am watching you smile and glow and be so excited. And I'm thinking, how many teachers do Carrie and I meet in an average 6 month period that have your level of excitement and passion? And I will tell you, not very many.
oh,
Not even the ones that are new. Like, I mean, like you said, you've not
oh yeah.
been doing this job for
Hmm.
decades, but
Hmm.
still you're coming at it with a passion and you
Love
actually
it.
absolutely love what you do. And I just want to say that I think one thing that people have spotted in you is that you're a leader without waiting for somebody to say, "Hey, I need you to pull a leadership role," right? You've put yourself in the position and you've said yes. And hopefully, there'll be enough people. So those directors who are listening, if you see a staff person stepping up, know that they've got some leadership potential. They want to keep growing, and growing doesn't necessarily just mean what sometimes we think of as leadership roles in early childcare. So you
Hmm.
definitely are taking that, I got this leadership direction happening as a teacher. And I love the fact. So, one of the things you shared with us is that you continue to roll with the kids. So,
Hmm.
anybody who stays, who was in kindergarten, is going to roll with you to the first grade. So,
Yes.
they will. So,
Yes.
some of these kids would have had you for preschool, kinder, and first. Did I understand that kind of right?
Well, okay, I will say this past year was my first year here at this school.
Okay.
Now,
All right.
my previous experience was at a different school. So I will say I've gotten to experience both sides of education. So the school that I came from was very, even though it was a private preschool that did a kindergarten program, it was far more traditional. Whenever we did kindergarten, it was straight up worksheets, report cards, all of that. So coming and having a year, yeah.
Sorry, I'm not sure if that cringe came through. I just like the shivers came all the way up my
Are,
body.
are you okay? Do you need a moment?
I think so. I think I'm good though.
So, I mean, and that's why I say, like, we don't know what we don't know. Because I learned so much this year, getting a whole new perspective on early childhood education. And I'm just completely sold out on it. And so, even though my the first graders that I'm getting, I won't have had them for, more than 1 year, but I am getting some repeat students, and that's so exciting to me that I get to continue on this journey with them, because that's one of my favorite things about teaching. Um, because at my previous school, I did get pre-Ks that once I transitioned to kindergarten, I got to keep them for kindergarten, and just again being on this longer journey with them, seeing them grow, seeing them learn, seeing them become more of who they're gonna be. Like, it's a treasure. And so, like, I kind of get to do that again, going from kindergarten to first
Well, I know that
here.
there is a whole kind of movement and a whole philosophy in education about teachers looping with their students. So
Mhm.
staying, whether it's 2 or even up to 3 years with that same group, so that pre-K kinder first, and then you go back and then you do pre-K kinder
Oh,
first with the next group.
I
And I
mean,
mean, it's hard to say whether or not that is going to be the actual model for your school as you guys keep going.
yeah,
But I mean, what an awesome opportunity those kids are going to
gosh.
have to continue to learn from you. So,
Because
Carrie,
one of the first things you need in order to be able to learn is to be able to trust. And if they've already developed that
Mhm.
trust over 1 year,
Yes.
taking it longer,
Hmm.
it makes it so much easier for them to learn scary things like addition.
Yes. Yeah. It's true. It's so true.
and
That's
I would much
I'm
rather
huge
have
on.
fun learning addition with some rocks and some twigs and outside than on a ditto, right? Like nobody needs no stinking handouts. Um, so
We
tell
need some stinking handouts. We just don't need all stinking
All
handouts.
the stinking handouts.
So Shelby, tell us how, what is the take, give us some anecdotes from some of your parents who maybe explored traditional school. Maybe you've even got some who tried that traditional kindergarten route, left after a month, came and found you halfway through the year. Maybe they did kindergarten last year and they're coming to you first grade. So tell me a little bit about, kind of what the parents are having to say.
Yeah, so I will say one of the ones that I'm getting for first grade in the fall, I did not get to experience his pre-K journey, but having had him in kindergarten, I heard a lot about it. So I know that his they put him in a more traditional, very like prestigious private school, and it was very just kind of militant, very sit at your desk, do your worksheets. And this was like this wasn't even kindergarten yet. And this is a little boy. I mean, true rough and tumble boy. He wants to get up. He wants to play. He does not want to sit and look at some stinking piece of paper. Um, and so it was so hard for him. And I think that it really broke him because by the time he came to kindergarten last year, I met this very quiet and even defiant little boy who would not do anything that you would ask him to do. He was not going to work. But around the middle of the year, after having fun with him and connecting with him, and just letting him show me how he learns best, I was able to then work with him and see him grow and learn and just take a lead on so much that he never would have had the opportunity to do had he been forced to sit at a desk all day. And so, his parents decided, like, we're gonna push any other kind of school off for as long as possible. He's coming back to first grade next year, and we're gonna keep this going. So it's stuff like that. I love it. I'm so excited for him and for all the students that we get that kind of opportunity with.
So, Carrie, what else do you think our directors might need to know? What are some other questions we can ask Shelby as the directors who are listening are trying to figure out how does this work? How can I learn from this? How can I adapt to this? That's not what our program is, but.
I mean, the question is, how do you spend 6 of the 9 hours of the day outside? I think that's one of the questions people probably have. And then the other one is, how exactly are you teaching phonics with sticks?
Okay. So we don't spend that much time outside. We do spend, I would say, on a fair weather day, we will spend a couple of hours outside. And so we will, call them up individually. And so it takes a lot of planning, I will say, a lot of, creativity, a lot of, finding out other creative people's stuff on Pinterest. There are ways to learn, but um, plan just fun activities to do with them at a table, at a picnic bench, where they don't realize necessarily that they're learning anything. They just think that they're playing a game and they're outside doing it. So anything is fun and it's play and it's a game if it's outside. And so we just, again, we call them up individually or a couple at a time, and we work with them on a smaller scale. So again, we're not trying to teach this huge class where they're, half of them aren't paying attention anyways. They're getting that one-on-one individual time. Now, I will say we do, our phonics and everything, we do keep a lot of that more traditional, but again, even a lot of our playtime inside. So one of the, I'll just give an example. Like one of the things that I'll do is if I say, okay, it's time to line up, everyone grab your water bottles. Oh, how many syllables are in water bottle? And so, again, that's allowing them to think through their phonics, or like, oh my gosh, look at what you're playing with. Is this a giraffe? Giraffe. Ooh, what do you think giraffe starts with? Is it a J or a soft G? Stuff like that. So it's about just joining into what they're already doing. It's not about, okay, everyone stop what you're doing and come do what I'm telling you to do. Though we have those times. We do. We really, really do. Because again, the goal is for them to be successful when they leave us. But it's just about being creative and inviting yourself into their play and making those teachable moments out of what they're already doing.
Love that. Well, I also love, Shelby, just to hear that it's not an hour and that it's hours, right? And so,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
regardless of what state you're in, what country you're
Mm-hmm.
in, look to see if you can't just add over the
Right.
course of the next, like, I'm going to challenge everybody who's listening. As you are working through your 2025-2026 school year, I am asking you to add another 30 minutes of
Yeah.
outdoor time
Yeah.
to your to every classroom. And
Mm-hmm.
whether or not you encourage the teachers, like you give them we're going to start doing all of our science outside because that's a pretty easy one when
Yeah.
they're doing pre-K to first or second grade. They can do almost every science they're ever going to need in those age groups
Yeah.
outside. So
Mm-hmm.
what a great opportunity. And I love that you brought up that you do that research on Pinterest and Teachers
Oh
Pay
my gosh.
Teachers.
Yeah.
And, just, I mean, there's all kinds of wonderful resources. You don't need to pay for an expensive curriculum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a kiddo who went to an outdoor school that was just on Fridays.
Oh, look at that.
And,
There you go.
so there's an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
for, again, folks listening. If you notice that you have a day of the week where maybe you've got a smaller group of students, this might be an opportunity, especially if you have one teacher that kind of loves this idea, like they heard this episode and they're like, ooh, I want us to do that. Go look at your classroom numbers and see if you can't dedicate one day a week to an age group that gets to now be your outdoor school for a one day a week. So hopefully we've planted some seeds. I know Carrie's probably got a couple of things that she wants to ask or say before we wrap up. Um, she's muted, so she ain't saying nothing. I love it.
Sorry, I've got a sore throat. So, I mean, I want to
Same.
say
Oh,
kudos to you, Shelby, and to
thank
your
you.
school for finding a way to meet the kids where they are and being like, we're not going to be right for everybody,
Yeah.
but we're right for these kids, and
Mhm.
standing proud and standing clearly in the we're serving these children, not all children.
Yeah.
I think that is one of those hard things for business owners and business leaders to do, is be like, I don't want every customer.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, Carrie, what do we need to tell everybody?
We need to tell them to come back and listen to us next time. If you haven't already subscribed, or followed, depending on which podcast player you are using, please go ahead and do that. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple, we're on YouTube, we're on all of the big podcast players. I think there's like 20 that we're on. So you can find us. We're now coming to you twice a week because we had so many wonderful people like Shelby who we want to talk to. When it was just Kate and I, you guys don't need just Kate and I more than once a week. But we had so many people that we wanted to have conversations with that we've increased it.
Well, you
If
know
you
what
want to
else?
be a guest, how do they become a guest, Kate?
Well, actually, I was going to say part of the reason we also get to do twice a week is that we've got some great sponsors. So,
It's true.
childcarebusinessgrowth.com is this quarter's sponsor, and we are so lucky to have them supporting us. And we've got a new sponsor coming in next quarter. So, tune in next week, and you'll get to hear more about our other program supporters and how much we just want to be there for you. But you can be a guest at www.childcareconversations.com. And Shelby, was it very scary to fill out an application?
Oh my gosh, not at all. The easiest thing, y'all.
And you were worried. Was it a hard conversation? Were we scary?
No, oh my gosh, y'all made this so easy and so fun. So fun and pleasant. I loved every minute.
Well, thank you for that testimonial. And no, we did not pay her for that. So anyway, y'all.
If you need help building the enrollment in your program, please reach out to Childcare Business Growth. They do amazing things, and they have programs starting at $200 a month. So you can definitely find a way to get some support from Childcare Business Growth, and see us in our next episode, or listen to us depending on how you find us.
Thanks for tuning in. We love bringing you real talk and fresh insight from the world of early childhood education. Be sure to follow us on social media to stay connected and catch all of the latest episodes. And if you're planning a conference, training, or special event, Kate and Carrie would love to speak to your audience. You can learn more about their keynote sessions and workshops at kateandcarrie.com. If you learned something today, share the show and leave us a review below. We'll see you next time on Childcare Conversations.